thanks for joining us today. We are here at the beautiful Pack Square Park with the beautiful courthouse and city building behind us, and I am joined by two very distinguished men here today. I have to cheat, I have their cards. Henry Mitchell, who's the chair of the Buncombe County Republican Party.
Glad to be with you today.
And Emmet Carney, who is the chair of the Democrat Party.
It's a pleasure, thank you so much.
Okay. Now, yes, I have both parties here with me. That is not always the case, but we get along, don't we? There's been no fight since we've been here.
No, not yet.
Yeah. That's great. What we've come here today to talk about, though, is something that I think you'll really find interesting, because 2012 is election year. Going to be a big one. I know you said probably I hope so. Going to be a big one. I think it will be. And we've been planning and working for a long time. Our election services department here in the county, which handles everything election, you guys work with that department, and let's fill you in on a lot of kind of what they do and what you guys want the folks at home to know. Now, first question being, how do you guys work with Buncombe County's election services? How does the Democratic Party and the Republican Party interact with that department?
Well, certainly I imagine both parties provide campaign workers or poll workers, which are required for any election. And of course, we try to keep in touch with one another over those poll workers and over available polling sites.
Right. And poll workers are just citizens who, they do get paid.
But they go to work.
Right. Volunteer, but they do get paid, and they put in long hours, and they're devoted, and you know, community service, and that's what it's all about.
Right. And do we have enough of those, enough workers all the time?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No. We can always use extra workers.
Yeah, to come in a lot on election day. What's some of the things that poll workers need to do? What kind of folks do we need to be poll workers here in Buncombe County?
Well, dedicated, energetic, able to work long hours, able to get along with people.
Computer skills.
Computer skills would help.
Well, there's some there, but...
Yeah.
Well, democracy naturally means government by the people. So the more people you can get inside the process, the better the government you're going to have. That's just all there is to it.
Okay. So you probably need definitely people to apply who are interested in the process, interested in what's going on.
Yeah. And you're getting a lot of new people interested now because of the here in Buncombe County. Well, we have, and on the Republican side.
Yeah.
It's patriotic work in this day and age.
That's right.
I do know that our election services has said that they do need poll workers.
Right.
So that's one thing that we're asking you folks at home to get in touch with us. We'll put some information out about how to do that, how to sign up to be a poll worker. That's what we need. That's another thing that they wanted us to cover here today is what on election day, during early voting and on election day, we have both parties covered at the polls. Representatives of the Democratic Party, representatives of the Republican Party there. Why is that? I know folks at home would want to know that happens. Can you explain why it does?
Well, for a number of reasons. Obviously, there are rules regarding campaigning at the polls. And you have to enforce those rules to make sure people aren't getting too close or people aren't actually manipulating other people's votes. And it's almost best, I think, if your own party can take care of that, your people. Because that helps put off some tension for sure. Also, it helps with the public trust. If we're equally represented, I think the public believes that the right things are happening.
Right. Just to be fair and equal, you know, across the board. And like you said, public trust. That's what we try to achieve.
That's right. And you guys can agree to disagree.
Sure.
You're both here to get the best thing for the county, for the region, and maybe to
and for the voters.
And for the voters, that's exactly right. And to make sure it's fair, that's a huge thing. I know we've always been really proud of our election services department because it does seem very fair, everything runs very smoothly. And I think a lot goes to each party because of that. It does run very smoothly here.
I'd have to agree that the Board of Elections here does an outstanding job.
I agree.
They do. Okay, then what is it, something that you guys feel very strongly about? It doesn't have to be one thing, it can be two or three things that you want our viewers at home to know about this election in 2012. Just stuff that, and I'll start with you, that you just want the folks to know that they need to do or need to take care of?
Well, first of all, you know, they need to exercise their freedom to vote. They need to get out and vote. That's the bottom line right there. And voter turnout's going to be a big goal of ours this year, is to get more people to the polls to make a difference. I don't go to him.
I'd agree. I would agree that voter turnout is absolutely critical, particularly in light of we've got so many people that feel that they are disenfranchised from the system.
Right.
We've got people marching in the streets and camping out. But we also have voter turnouts that are typically less than 50%.
That's true.
And if we ever had voter turnouts of, say, 0.75%, or 3/4 of eligible voters came out to vote, we'd have a government that looked a lot more like the government we want to.
That's a good point.
And we wouldn't have to take to the streets. We wouldn't have to be camping out in front of City Hall. We could actually have the government we want.
Right.
If we can get us out there and be part of it.
That's right. If people don't vote, no, you're not going to get as much of a reflective government.
Right.
I regret that's inescapably true.
That's true. And there's been some changes this year. Districts.
Right. It's important that people identify and know which districts they're in, congressional, House, Senate, all the way across the board, county commission. There's 3 districts there this year, so it's important they know. And I know the Board of Elections is going to do some education, and we're going to try to do that also on certain precincts where you might have a street dividing them, you know, between a district or something. So I think it's important to educate the voters before they go to the polls, to let them know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I know we're grateful that there's such great resources at buncombecounty.org where you can actually put in your address and find out, make sure exactly where you are to vote, so you don't get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
We don't want you to have any excuse not to vote.
Yeah.
No excuse. Any questions at all for either of these 2 guys? We're going to put up a phone number for your parties so people at home can give you a call. Find out more. We'll put up some more information so you at home can know what's going on. If you have any questions, let us know.